looking at the intro paragraph or intro for any essay. And generally, an intro is starting from a broad, big idea so that anybody can kind of enter this topic, even if you're doing something special where most people wouldn't understand. You're giving them a broad understanding of this topic and you're bringing it down to a specific point, which will end in your thesis. So the parts of the intro, the hook, background information, and thesis. With the hook, one of the best ways to start is giving a surprising fact. So example, one person dies from smoking every 30 seconds. Not sure if that's true, but it would be surprising if it is. Facts about the world. In the modern world, smoking is becoming more and more common. You can do questions, but I usually tell my students not to because I don't usually do it in the best way. Next, background information. Several different ways you can do background information, and I want to make it clear that you don't have to do all of these. I'm just giving a lot of different choices because depending on the essay and the topic, depends on which ones you're going to choose. So we'll start with the top. Define the topic. Here's an example. Smoking is burning traditional cigarettes like Marlboro or the like. Vaping and shisha will not be considered in this essay. So again, whatever the topic is, you can talk about it how you want. If you want to talk about vaping, that could be your topic, and you're not talking about other forms of smoking. You're defining it. What is it? If you're talking about transportation, what kinds of transportation is important? Which ones are not? So the next one, opposite of the thesis. I think this is a great one. Usually, and again, it works for certain essays better than others. So if your thesis equals your causes, if that's what you're arguing about in your paper, then the intro will talk about the effects. So causes of smoking. Then if that's your essay, then in the intro you talk about the number of people smoking, how many or how much money cigarette companies make, etc. If your essay is about the effects of smoking, then influence of friends and the causes, influence of friends on smoking, influence of parents, etc. Different essay. If your thesis is about for a topic, then your intro could be against the topic. So for example, maybe your essay is arguing Gus should not allow smoking anywhere on campus. That's your essay. Then in your intro, you could talk about how people, some say smoking outside is not harming anyone, or they might say people argue smoking is a personal choice, etc. People's opinion. This is very similar to the last one, can be, but it also works for a lot of topics. Just talking about what do people think about it, what do they believe about it, what do they argue about it. Just think about your topic and just think, what do people say about this? Good, bad, different perspectives, anything. Past or present, this is a great one, especially if you're doing something more historical or any topic. Really works well. You're just showing like the evolution over time. So going back to the example of smoking, the earliest records of smoking is by Native Americans in the year 300. I don't know if that's true. They used natural plants as their cigarettes. Chewing tobacco became popular in 1600. Cigarettes were first invented in 2020. Hope you understand that's a joke. But again, the point is that if your topic is about cigarettes, you're just talking about how it has grown. You don't have to do historical. You could do more so like business. So when was the first cigarette company established, how much money they make, things like that. Okay, next one is show why it is important. So this is generally, like all of them, you should be trying to do this. And so you should be asking yourself, whenever you're writing your intro, why should your reader care? Is increasing in their country? Is it becoming more popular in the world? The causes are inescapable. You have to kind of create, regardless of which type of background information you use, you have to be trying to answer this question for your reader. Like, why is this coming to them? What's happening? Why is this important to them? And then finally, the thesis. Whatever your topic is, plus your opinion and the reasons, that's optional though. So these two you have to have there. So for example, the main causes of teen smoking are 1, 2, and 3, these reasons. So again, 1, 2, and 3, those are the reasons, those are optionals. It would be just fine to say the main, well, I can't say that. The government should not allow people to smoke inside malls or movie theaters for several reasons. And then you can list them there. Again, that's optional. Barbell strength training is the best type of fitness for men and women because of X, Y, and Z. So we're having a topic, barbell strength training, opinion, it's the best, and we gave some reasons right there at the end. So just to recap, we looked at the different parts of the intro, hook, We went over that. We went over background information, and then we broke that down into different ways that you could do that, define the topic, opposite of the thesis, people's opinions, past or present, and show why it's important. And again, remember, you don't have to do all of these in your essay. It's just important that you do at least one or two. And then finally, the thesis. So look forward to reading your excellent essays.